What's up, guys? We're coming at you with our third video today. Decided to do a showcase on the 682 Cubs. Let's get into it. So many of you guys obviously tell, big time red guy, you know. And there was a point in time in Cub Cadet before they sold out the MTD where their lawnmower line was red. And I tell you what, I didn't know about it when I was younger, and then when I got to kind of investigate and I seen them, and I was like, man, I'd love to have me some of those. But we ended up making it happen, so I'd like to show them off and tell you a little bit about them and what I know about them and what I like about them and what I don't like about them. So somewhat another, not really a comparison video, it's more or less an opinion, so yeah. We're going to start off with showcasing 1282, my absolute favorite one. Got it on my spray cart right now. It does a few things around other than just that. It pushes snow. I've used it to pull out grain heads before. Pretty neat little rig to do that with. I always enjoy running it. It's always done everything I wanted it to do, and I'm definitely happy to have it. Probably have to say this is probably the best one out of the three that I have, and the reason why is what's underneath the hood. See, in the 82 series, you got the 582, 682, 782, 982, and then the 1282. Well, you would think that this was the biggest one. Actually, it's the smallest. And the reason why that is because of the engine that it has. So it has a 12 horsepower Kohler single piston, and just love this little engine. It's a tank if you take care of it, you know. I mean, it's like anything else out there, but it's not as vulnerable as the V-twins, and we'll talk about that when we get further into it, so just stay tuned. Oh, it's got a blade on it, and I really like the fact that it has a blade on it because you can really just not just push snow. I've pushed branches in the woods. I've pushed dirt back in holes that the dog dug. I've done all kinds of stuff with it. It came with a set of wheel chains for the back, and when I bought it, it had those tires on it right there, and I like it because it makes it look like it's front wheel assist. Kind of funny, but yeah, it's a pretty good little tractor right here. So got it on the spray cart. Been spraying some weeds around the farm here. It kind of helps me take care of that. Show you the dash here on it. It's got a little crack on it. It's real common for those to be cracked like that. Batteries out under there. Try to keep everything working on it, lights work on it and everything. It's just awesome. Good little piece to have. So in the past, I had this thing hooked up to a spike tooth harrow, and I was dragging it through the garden. I had a lot of fun doing that. I didn't really have to. It really kind of helped bust up some claws before I put sweet corn in. So yeah, just little odds and end jobs like that for the 12. I like to have it on hand just for that. But I mentioned where it pulled that corn head out, and I'll show you guys both clips of the garden work and where it pulled the corn head out. I was real happy with that. You know, most people be like, oh, you know, a 6-row corn head, that's nothing. Yeah, well, it's really not, but like, I thought it was kind of funny. But yeah, I'll show you guys those clips. on from the 1282 on to the next one, and what we have is a really nice 682 I got back here. Sits right next to the combine. Back here and look at it. I need to wash it, get it out and wax it. Forgive the oil there. That's nothing. This is my show tractor right here. It doesn't really do a lot around. I mean, most of the stuff that I know on this thing is original, and I've been trying to keep it that way. So it's been to different shows and stuff. I've had a lot of comments on it and things like that, and it's definitely a clean little tractor. I've only engaged the deck on it once since I've had it. I try to do most of the mowing with the 7. It's got Series 1 V-twin Kohler KT17 in there. So these are all right engines if you keep them on flat ground, and we'll talk about that further later. But yeah, I really like what they do for their intake system right here versus the single piston Kohlers, because the single piston's right here on the side, so you got to take the shield off to get to it and all that and take care of it. And rather than it being on the side, it's just right here on top, and I really do like that. You know, they've got these coils right here that are for the twin deal here, and they run kind of expensive, but these put out about 19 horsepower is what they say. So I guess, you know, when you're doing that, you got the single, you know, cylinder or pistons, I keep saying that, versus twin cylinders, twin pistons, you're going to have quite a bit more power there, I guess. Always make sure you check your oil on these, because they like to make windows in blocks if you don't, as most engines do. So, yeah. Close the hood down here. There we go. All right. Yeah, like I said, I gotta have to get this thing dusted. It shows 966 hours on it. Old hand grip off a Harley motorcycle right there. That's aftermarket. Got the chrome back here on the back. Chrome pegs. As far as I know, I don't think anything's ever been hooked up to that hitch right there. So, and then they have these. This started peeling up, and I don't ever remember those supposed to have been on these, but I'd like to get that stuck back down and taken care of. So yeah, the deck's pretty clean on it. When I got this thing, it had the original drive belts on it. So, yeah. Get on this thing and start it up for you guys. It fires right up. I like it. Does pretty good. Give it a little bit here. Put that. One of the things that's interesting about this little tractor, as I thought was interesting, was later on in the video, you'll hear me talk about how, you know, we mention the switches on there. And as far as I know, the brake switch, the seat switch is still the same. So, like the original one. So I think that's kind of neat. It hasn't been bypassed yet. So most of them get bypassed because when they go faulty, it causes starting problems. They don't want to turn over, nothing. You don't have nothing at the key if they don't have good connection there. So keep that in mind. So we're going to move on from the 6 right here, right on over here to dirty little pig, the 7. I bought this one really cheap. Put a new battery in it, starter solenoid. We'll take it outside and we'll do a little bit of mowing out there. So, yeah, just bear with me. It always starts like that. I don't really know why. This is 782. KT 17 Series 2 Kohler engine in it. One of the things that I like the most about this is the hydraulic deck lift right here. That's really nice because I mean it's easy to control. You know, you got grease points down here on the deck there, and then in your center one right underneath there in the center. Same thing over here. I'd like to find me a set of V-tread tires to put on it. I've not had this one very long. Like I said, it's not as good as the 12 in my opinion. The 12 having the single cylinder, or my bad, single piston engine, I like that a whole lot better. Those Kohlers are just a heck of a lot better than the V-twins, in my opinion. Some of you guys might have a different idea on that. We got a custom front end going on here on the front of this thing. Some of you guys might notice that. I bought this tractor. It didn't have any lights, nothing on the front of it. And one of these days I may find the proper stuff to put there, but as of right now, that'll get me by. Just for doing chore work around the farm here. I got this thing specifically to mow around equipment because I don't want my zero-turn mowing around that kind of stuff. It's a little bit more tougher, harsher environment than what I want that grasshopper to be in. So, yeah. When time comes, like I said, I'd like to find some V-treads for it. And overall, they're pretty good little tractors. I'd like to have a 982 eventually, but I mean, those are quite a bit more expensive than what these are. So this is the best one that's not a 9 that has the V-twin in it that I could get, that, well, anybody could get, because the 682 has the Series 1 in it, and they're not as bad, except for the Series 1 has been known for starving out certain points of the engine whenever you're mowing an uneven ground. And I don't promote mowing an uneven ground anyway, because it's supposed to be safe on these things and maintain safety and without getting pinned or trapped underneath these things. You know, try to keep it on level ground, guys. Can cut back on risk and stuff. I wouldn't chance it, but yeah, most of these have brake switches in them and seat switches, and bypassing. And if you guys ever have a situation where you can't ever just get these started randomly, just make sure that those wires are connected properly, because I've had on all of these that I've ever owned, if that switch is not there, it has been bypassed by the time I've ever got to it. The only one that's not been like that is the 6, and everything's stock on the 6. I went ahead and put another switch back on it because it's the show tractor of the 3, so I want everything to be as original as it could possibly be on there. So with that being said, I went ahead and put one back on it. But yeah, I don't know a whole lot about them other than the basics of, you know, common reasons why they don't run, stuff like that. If anybody has any questions on these tractors or little lawnmowers, or I should correct myself, say lawnmowers, or some might call them garden tractors, you know, feel free to hit up the comments. I'll do my best to help out anybody. So yeah. So yeah, with all that being said about the 7 and the 6 and the 12, 12's definitely my favorite because of the fact that it doesn't really starve its own engine out for oil if you get an uneven ground. I do not recommend mowing an uneven ground, guys. We got to be careful. These ditches can pin these things on us, and it could be a little bit before somebody finds us, and just not good. So yeah, be extra careful. I think we're going to wrap this one up. I'm going to finish this one by always saying Jesus Christ is King.